Hey YouTube, Right Wing again. Hey, today I want to talk to you about the spoke tensioners. That's right, spoke tensioners. These little things that the ratchet mechanism goes into that hold your frame section latches in there. I was having problems with mine. As you can see, this one's really dickered up. And I want to show you how to clean them up, take them out, replace them, or fix them if you need to. And so let's get into it. The reason I make these videos just kind of is to help other people. I live 3.5 hours away from my local dealer, so some of these things you should be able to do yourself if you run into issues. So the issue I was having was when I put the ratchet strap in there, it wouldn't stay closed, or it wouldn't catch it, right? So it just keep doing that. And so I had to figure out how to fix this. And let me show you what I learned. I learned some infield tricks that maybe can help you, and hopefully you enjoy this video. So let's get right into it. All right. So here's your what Nirvana calls a spoke tensioner, right? And these things are actually built pretty good. I was surprised. I thought they'd be all plastic, but they're not. So what was happening was, like I said, this was staying open, and I couldn't get it to hold my latch. So an infield trick I learned, it's pretty neat, is take your favorite paper clip, put you a nice little hook on the end of it, so when you're out in the field and this thing's staying open, you can very easily take your paper clip, hook it, pull it closed, and then pull your paper clip out. Okay, and that'll allow it, if it's corroded, to close, and then you can put your your strap right back into it, and it should hold it closed. So you should be good to go in the field. All right. What 9 times out of 10 the culprit is, believe it or not, is this pin. Okay, this little pin right there gets corroded. Okay, whether it's from moisture from flying early in the mornings or fog or whatever, it gets moisture on it and it corrodes. So one of the tools you're definitely going to need to even begin is a 5/64 punch. That's going to help you get this pin out. Okay, so you need this little punch, and you're going to push this pin out, but it's going to be really corroded. I've cleaned this one up for the video. Okay, so this pin right here will get really corroded and keep this from opening and closing like it should. So you take your pin out there, don't let it roll off on you, pull your punch out there, and now you have your nice little aluminum catch, which I was surprised. I thought these would be plastic. I thought it'd be really, poorly made, but these are actually really well made. And then of course you have your spring that goes behind your button. As you can see, my button's dickered up pretty good. That's why I'm making this video. Help somebody else out. Okay, so that's all there is to it, to these spoke tensioners. Like I said, that's what Nirvana calls them. Okay, now they're epoxied in. Okay, so right around here is all epoxy, and that's how they're put in. We'll talk about how to take these out and all that stuff. So what I like to do to clean them up, so if you don't have to replace them, that one I messed up so bad I had to replace it. So as you take this pin, take the pin out, and what I like to use is Scotch Guard. These little Scotch Guard pads to clean the pin, because I don't like using sandpaper. Sandpaper takes material. It'll actually take material away from it. All we want to do is clean it up. So as you can see right there, this is what I use to clean up the pin really well, and that's all it does. It just takes the gunk and the buildup off of it without removing material. So Scotch-Brite is probably the best way to go. Don't use sandpaper. Okay, so clean it up, and And then of course we'll just reassemble it right here for just to show you. Well, I say that. And put your spring in behind your button there. Put your aluminum catch there. What I like to do is, this is where the punch comes into play again, right? So you can line everything up before you put your pin in, and put your punch to hold it in place while you oop, come on, there we go. And then you can start your pin, you know, and then kind of push your punch back out. Oop, come on, there we go. And then you got it back in, no problem. Right, so everything's moving freely, good to go. All right, so that's all there is to these spoke wheel tensioners. Okay, so now how to take them out, how to get to them, how to take them out. All right, so in order to get to them, you have to take your battery compartment out. Is what I call the battery compartment. So you remove your battery, and then right behind that, let's see if we can get this real good, is 2 bolts. All right, so you have this bolt, and then you have that bolt. Word of caution, your fuse is right here. Okay, so your fuse box and your little fuse is right here. So you're gonna have to remove your fuse to get to this bolt. Okay, put a socket on it, so you have to remove your fuse. Be careful there. All right, now as you unloosen these is part of your motor mount. Okay, and your motor will want to cant backwards. Okay, because you're loosening the motor mount itself, so it'll want to cant and fall back. So what people do is they'll run a line around the motor to the main strut to keep it from falling backwards. Okay, so you can do that as you loosen them up, and then you should have access. Okay, what that does is this whole compartment here, you'll see this edge, this whole compartment right here will come out. All right, all the way around, this will come out, and you'll have access to what I call the top ones. Okay, so you'll have access to this one, access to this one, the ones way up here on the main strut on each side, and then of course to get to the bottom ones, or the bottom one, if you will, this one, you're gonna have to remove your fuel tank. Okay, to get to this one, you have to drop your fuel tank in order to have access to this. All right, now once you have them, now what do you do? Okay, you'll need a socket and a small hammer. Let me show you. So a small hammer, not a big hammer. And what you do is, of course, gently, you don't have to beat it to death, but you take a socket and you go around the edge and just tap it. You're going to tap it harder than that, obviously, but you're going to just go around the edge, break the epoxy loose, and then that way it'll come out. You don't have to beat it to death like I did, but let me show you this right here. So there, like I said before, there's a nice reservoir, or lip if you will, right around here that epoxy lays in. Okay, that's what you're breaking free. You're just breaking that epoxy free for it to come out. Okay, now if you're going to reuse it, it's going to take you some time to clean that up with a X-Acto knife or a razor, whatever you use to clean that up. Then in order to epoxy it back, one of the epoxies I've seen used that works really well is a RC plane type epoxy. I think it's called Great Plains 6-minute epoxy. I've seen that used to work on these. I mean, it don't have to be JB Weld, because if you ever have to take it out again, you don't want some crazy epoxy. You just want a good epoxy. Okay, so that should be all there is to it on that. Maybe that'll save somebody some headache. So anyway, when you clean this up and lubricate it, I just want to, you know, I don't plug products. Again, I do this all on my own, and nobody knows, like I don't think Nirvana or anybody like that would even approve of doing videos like this. But there's a product that I like to use when you're using metal and plastic, okay? And that's anything that's non-petroleum. So I'm gonna kind of go into this. This is some frog lube, okay? I'm a big gun nut guy. And this frog lube is environmental friendly, bio-safe, biodegradable, all that good stuff. I think you can actually even eat this stuff and it won't even make you sick. It's how good this stuff is. And I like to use it when it comes to plastic and metal parts, okay? So it's non-petroleum based and won't eat the plastic up. Because that brings me up to this point, my battery. Okay, if you'll notice, these batteries are encased with this rubber that holds them together, and sometimes this is really thick, and then some models it's a little thinner. Okay, so when I first got my battery, I was putting it in, you know, just like he reads. Okay, like, oh, okay, that's how it goes in, you know, just like this. But what was happening was the leads are right close to each other like that, and when you put it in like this, it was really crimping this, and I ended up having to resolder one of these connections because it broke. So now I put it in to where the leads are the furthest away, like so. Let's see if we can get in there. And you see it's really, really snug, right? Really snug. I was having to use like a flat tip screwdriver. So now the leads are being able to lay, you know, without being crimped at some weird angle. But in order to get this out, I mean, it was incredibly hard. It would stick in there really, really stout. And so now it'll pop right out like that with no problem. And what I did was I took and I put that frog lube all over the sides here. As you can probably see the shine on it. Put that frog lube on each side of this, and it slides in and out, and I don't have to worry about it messing with the rubber or with the gel coat, because it's a non petroleum based lubricant, which allows that to slide in and out now without any kind of great force. So hopefully that little tip might help somebody. Maybe the cool paper clip trick might help somebody. Like I said, I just do this out of my own experience, and hopefully help another Instinct owner enjoy their equipment. So anyway, this is Right Wing. Hope to see you in there. Bye.